Welcome to the Healing Spirits Here and There podcast with Terry and Amanda, where you'll hear spiritual perspectives, weird mediumship experiences, and try intuitive and trust building exercises for yourself. Join us every Friday. Like and subscribe to never miss a show, and let's get started. Welcome to the Healing Spirits Here and There podcast. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Terry. Today, we're going to go over a few topics that are going to put us into February. And we'll be discussing how to close out this last year. Good things, bad things, how we're going to move on, things that we really don't want to keep bringing into the new year. We just kind of want to get rid of those to be nice and fresh.
Yeah. I love that idea. Close out this year and then kind of decide how we want to move into the next year.
Right.
Is what we're going to focus on.
Sometimes we just don't have a plan.
Exactly. And this is just like little steps, little things we can do. We'll do a couple short meditations, one for kind of releasing things, and then one to give you ideas on what you want for next year, what's important to you, because we all struggle with that. Well, maybe some people have really clear ideas, but I don't. I mean, I know a bunch of stuff I need to work on, but I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. And I think it will help me as well kind of focus in and identify what I want to work on.
That's what I really like about this. And I'm very, very excited about the February ones, like what we're going to be building off of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm liking that we get to go into this with those who are participating. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll learn something, maybe you'll learn something, maybe we'll all have ahas.
Yeah. Aha moments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Together, which would be really nice.
No one wants to diet alone, and no one wants to, they want somebody to diet with. So this just helps us, right?
And you said diet, not die, right?
Diet.
Okay. It just sounded like nobody wants to die alone. They want to take someone with them or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that's how it works.
Oh my God, man.
Well, I broke my pen. Things are crazy. All right. Did you have a nice Christmas? Your tree is still beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm saving it because Mia didn't make it for Christmas, but she will be here tonight.
Oh, wonderful.
Maybe her presents are still underneath the tree. So tonight we'll have another little Christmas with Miss Mia.
Oh, fun. Well, my tree is still up too. We'll see when I take it down.
I'm almost thinking that it would lessen the load if I just left it up year round.
That's what we said. It's beautiful. We can just keep decorating it all year. Just change the decorations with the seasons. That would be kind of fun, actually.
I have one that I do that too.
It's Valentine's. Real?
Yeah, swear. It's in the entryway. It's like it goes to Harry Potter in October. It's fall. It's it's every month. People say, the Christmas tree still up? It's not. It's a holiday tree. It's not Christmas. It's holiday.
Is that like a thing? I guess it is.
It is here.
Well, hey. All right. So we want to talk about the new year. That's basically our topic today, guys. And so I sat there and I thought, like, what do I actually do for the new year? I don't stay up till midnight. I'll tell you that. Not for years now.
Nope. I don't either.
Yeah, I used to, but it's always been that holiday that I do basically nothing for, or I don't plan for it usually. But there is one thing that I have done the past, I think 4 or 5 years, and I must have read it somewhere. Somebody suggested it because I don't remember. But what I do is I write a letter. And so I take some time, like an hour or two, and I let myself just kind of sit there and I write. I guess it maybe even not a letter, but I just write everything that happened over this last year. Like, of course, I forget a million things, but I'm going through and just writing the events, what were things, challenges I overcame, what is just the basic day-to-day that I did, and just writing it out and then noticing pain points, maybe things that I'm still dealing with that I've been dealing with for the whole last year, things that have made me so happy. I find it to be very therapeutic, and it's even interesting. You can write this whole thing of everything that happened last year and even come up with like, what was last year? Was that just a growth year? Was that a year I committed to what I loved? Was that a year that I was just coming up with a new understanding of how I live in this world? Especially being last year was my first year as a mom and having a baby. It was a really different year for me. So I haven't written mine out yet, but I'll be interested to do that and kind of see what I come up with, how much I've accomplished that maybe I don't even realize I've done right now. And so I think that's a great exercise.
That is. I used to just do the what's my New Year's resolution and lose weight. They're all the normal ones. Last year, because of how some of my readings were turning out or how people were reaching to me, and then I would say, I can't do that. And then I was like, well, how do you know that you can't do that if you don't legitly try? So you can't just say, oh, I just can't do that. But
Wait, can't do what?
example, like someone called and wanted me to help them find a missing person. And I'm like, well, I don't do that, but I'd never tried. So how do I know that I didn't?
Oh,
So
okay,
my
okay.
New Year's resolution last year, maybe it started the year before, but I carried it over, was I'm not going to say I can't.
I gotcha.
I'm just going to say, okay, well, I'll try. Maybe when I say I can't, is probably I don't want to.
But you don't have time for it. You don't have room for it mentally. Maybe it feels too challenging.
I think the right word was challenging, that it's not, mediums have different fortes. And I really personally don't think that's mine. But if I say that, then I think that I'm putting that out there and I'm saying that I can't do it. So why not practice and do it? It's okay to fail.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's how we learn. It's how we grow. Right.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
So that
for
was
sure.
last year. This year I have a different word.
Okay. I don't really set resolutions. I don't know why. I used to try and then I just stopped.
Well, I didn't do the diet one, or I didn't do this one, the eat right one. I did something that I needed to try. So no matter, try.
Yeah, and you know what? We're actually going to talk about that closer to the end of this podcast, coming up with a theme or a motto for next year. So not necessarily a resolution, but that's a perfect example of that. Not saying, I mean, you can phrase it any way you want, but not saying I can't. And then every time something comes up, thinking to yourself, well, should I try this or not? Based on your focus for whatever the year is, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So when you're writing your letter, if you decide to do that, make notes like on the side. What do you want to leave behind in 2022? What do you not want to bring into 2023 with you? What's something you're done with? There's a lot of things that can hold us back: friendships, relationships, physical challenges. I know I had a lot this last year. And so there's just a lot of different things. And to make your personal notes on what you're finding after reflecting on last year.
Yeah.
We want to talk about noticing examples or using one in particular of like maybe friendships, because friendships and relationships with family members have been severely affected by things going on in the world. I mean, I think we all know that there's a lot of polarizing things happening that are severing relationships. And maybe that's not the reason why a relationship ended for you, but it is for a lot of people. And so using this as an example of maybe something that's hurt you in the past year and how to move forward or just get unstuck or change your thoughts on that.
Sometimes people change and you don't even know the reason why, or maybe someone just walks away and you're left with not knowing why. And those are the things that I like to use the word goodbye. peace
Mhm.
out, I'm done, whatever. But it doesn't always happen that way. You always go back and to wonder, well, how could I have fixed it? How could I did it? What was my fault in it?
Mhm.
Um, I would hope that someone would say, well, you have this issue, you have that issue. But then talking about the pandemic and everything else like that, there was more than I could count of people who I in my readings or people I've talked to that were in friendships over 20, 30 years and they didn't want to vaccinate, but their friends did. And that was the line that cut them. After 20,
Yeah.
30, that's just should be an opinion of what they want to do. I get it. But now that friendship is no longer there. And I would want to know, and they know why. They know why it's not there, right?
Right. It's not always a matter of not knowing why. Sometimes
Mhm.
it's a very clear, but it
Mhm.
doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, and it doesn't mean that it's not still causing you pain.
That's right.
You could even be still reaching out to that person, saying, "Hey," dropping off a present for them. I've talked to several people who have friends that they love dearly
Mhm.
who just don't wanna be friends anymore, and they're still dropping gifts off to them. They're still putting themselves out there, and they're getting
Mhm.
absolutely nothing in return, and it's very hurtful.
Yep.
And,
I've done that. I've sent cards to people not knowing or messages or whatever. And they're
yeah,
either one-sided only or I might get a response, but it's just to answer the question or to thank me for the time that I gave them. But there's no extra going the mile. And that's fine. We're all in each other's lives for a reason.
mhm,
And we don't know how long that reason is. That even if someone dies, passes, whatever, we
mhm.
don't know that tomorrow that won't happen to any of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we had chit-chatted before, and you mentioned, people come into our lives maybe to teach us something, maybe to help us grow, or
Absolutely.
maybe to be a lifelong friend. We don't know, but we're always changing and evolving, and so are they. And so we may not always be, someone leaves and that's okay.
Mhm.
But dealing with the pain isn't always easy. And so we want to talk about how to let go of the pain. And you had said a phrase the other day, like stopping the circle. Well, you said something, I don't remember how it came out, but kind of stopping the circle of pain, because you might notice in evaluating your last year or whatever, there's these same thoughts that come into your head regarding maybe a person or a painful situation,
Mhm.
something that you feel is holding you back, and you don't want to bring it into 2023. We want to help you stop that circle of pain that is just this ongoing loop that you revisit and you're stuck. And maybe you've reached out to the person, they aren't reaching out back. So that's not resolving it, or it's a situation that you can't do anything about.
Mhm. But I
And
think if you've reached out and you don't hear back, that shouldn't really beat us up. It should just say, okay, this is clear. I have done all that I can
yeah,
do. And I just have to say, and that's why I use the word goodbye to those type of things.
yeah, you just say
You'll
goodbye.
never be able to leave behind 2022, 2021, any of the years that anybody passed. That will always be embedded into us, always.
Right.
Right. But when
Yeah.
I'm talking about it, like when I put it on my page, I had a couple of different answers and I had
Mhm.
4 responses. I'll read them whenever you think it's a good time. But some people want to say, no, I don't want to say goodbye. It's see you later. Well, I don't want to see that hurt later.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. If it's a
Perfect.
loved one, yes,
Right.
who has passed away, of course. You're not telling them goodbye, you're saying, "I'll see you later." But, so something we came up with the activity that you can do, and we've probably all done it ourselves at some point, is to write e either a letter, to the person, and then you can burn it or rip it up, or if it's appropriate, send it.
Right.
It just depends. And
Hmm.
it could also just be writing a statement about a situation. And so just as an example, let's see, I wrote down like if it's to a person, you can then this is pretty short. And of course, I know you can come up with this on your own writing a letter, but just to give you guys something solid to work with, dear so and so, I don't know why our friendship ended, or maybe you have something specific you do. But I cannot keep hurting myself by reaching out to you with nothing in return. I
Mhm.
love you. I miss you, but I love and respect myself more.
Mhm.
And I'm freeing myself of this circle of pain. Goodbye.
Mhm.
Or whatever you want to say. But just writing also that one of the reasons you have to let this go is because you love yourself and you can't keep hurting yourself to try and reach out to someone else or whatever your situation is.
Mhm.
And then
It could
burning
be a
them or
job, not just a friendship. It could be a job. It could be a
it could
divorce.
be
It
anything.
could be anything. And so
Yeah,
those are
and
the
just sorry.
no, no. I said those are the right things. This is what you said. That those are the perfect things.
Yeah, just to try and let it go. Like, it's kind of a ritual that you're doing and an intention that you're setting that you're going to let it go. And then um it's going to still pop up in your head, after you've done this. Oh, there goes Terry.
You're
Uh-oh.
gonna
There she
have
is.
to. Sorry, I can't shut off my messenger.
Oh, gotcha.
In this
Oh,
thing, I
what's
did not
happening
expect.
here?
Keep talking.
Okay.
Let me fix the.
So anyways, the situation, whatever it is, it's still going to pop up in your head. It's still going to be hard after you've done this. But what you can do is now you've taken one little step to get unstuck and move forward. So when the thoughts pop in, you can say to yourself, that's okay, but I'm moving on. I'm not thinking about this all the time. And the more you start to actively
Mhm.
change your thoughts, the easier it will be over time and just kind of stopping it. I'm not thinking about that. I've moved on. I
Mhm.
burned my letter or whatever it is.
Mhm. Last year, I kept saying, "Not my monkeys, not my
Yep.
monkeys," and then I was
Yep.
like, "Can't go there." It is what it
Yeah.
is. Not my monkeys.
Yep.
I actually
Exactly.
said that one day into a reading, and I was like, "It's like not my monkeys," and it was factually something the one in spirit would say, and I was like, "Well,
Oh, really? That's
yeah."
perfect.
In right at the right time, and I was like, "Why was I talking about my monkeys during their reading?" I don't know. But that's
Oh, and you had said this phrase, like, if you love something.
oh, my grandma used to say, whenever something would happen and I'd be sad about it, she would say, and I'm sure she got it from someplace else, but she would say, if you love something, set it free. If
Yeah.
it comes back to you, it was meant to be.
Yep. And I mean, we've all heard it. Honestly, it can sound corny, but
Hmm.
it's true. It's
Hmm.
true. And so for some of these friendships, that have ended over whatever's going on, vaccines, other stuff, we have to, maybe think about that and just say, I got to let it go for now. Maybe they'll come around, whatever.
I've
And
had
it's true.
have been so traumatizing to me for like a couple of years in a relationship or whatever. I would
Yeah.
have never thought at the moment when I was grieving, when I was hurting, when I was beating myself up, where's my part in it? I would have never thought that 3 years down the road, 2 years down the road, that you would see this when you start to settle, right, and get over those type of issues, that something big happens in your life and you're just in a whole different position than where you would have thought. I would have never been in this position if I would have stayed in that situation, right?
Yeah.
So I think that we all have our own paths, and
Mhm.
sometimes I can't say this when someone passes because I just don't really feel like that would be a good thing, right? But on
Right.
other things, relationships, divorces, or whatever, I think that if we don't get on the path that our spiritual path that I think that we are designed to do when we're here,
Mhm.
then going to be things that happen to shove you out of the rut that you're in,
Oh,
you know,
totally.
and then it's up to you to say, okay, I'm in this good place. Now this is where I need to be.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you attract differently, different jobs, different friends, different everything when you're kind of on a different path. And like Terry's saying, for example, like I got divorced years ago And if I didn't get divorced then, I wouldn't have my guy or baby or home or everything that I have now. And so, even though it was this absolutely horrible experience for him and me and everybody else, our friend group, I mean, it was awful, but it led to me having a different life. And so,
Right.
realizing that years later, you can't realize when you're in it, but you
No.
can say, and we were just talking about this, Terry, instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Saying, what is this teaching me? So that is something when you're in a situation that you hate and you can't seem to get out, or it's not going to get better anytime soon. Ask yourself that question. What is this teaching me? Instead of, why me? I'm a victim. Everything's happening to me. Kind of change the perspective, change the energy of it.
And I do believe that some people are legitly, victims.
Oh,
Somebody
totally.
hit,
Sorry if I
but
sounded like some aren't.
it didn't. It really didn't. But just in case,
Yeah.
but it doesn't formally. It's not always about that. It's just
Yeah.
we're a creature of habit of not being okay with whatever's going on. Some things that bother me don't bother my husband, and I'm just like, how do you not let that affect you? And with
Right.
my monkeys, he says I can't fix it. I'm not,
Mm.
I can't do anything about it. It is what it is. And I don't want to give it any power. Whoa. I wish I could do that,
Oh, okay.
right? But I wish I could do that. But
Yeah.
and I sometimes I'll look at him and say, well, what would you do in this situation? He's like, well, I wouldn't give it as much energy as you're giving it. And then you feel drained, right? You feel drained.
Yeah.
you know I feel that the people will eventually see. I have this huge positive feeling about 2023, that people are going to really start coming around and having self-love, and they're going to be
Mhm.
happier. I mean, I cannot believe all the kindness that I saw during Christmas while I was shopping.
Aw.
I was just like,
Yeah.
that was just, I just kept saying thank you, whatever.
Mhm.
But I think we're all going to be put on a path, but it's just going to take the ones that really want it to ripple out the love and the kindness.
Mm,
But it all
mhm.
starts.
Oh, I didn't hear. I know you said, but it all starts with us because I read your lips. Secondly,
Mm,
or thirdly, fourthly, fifthly, after all the things, I don't know what we're at, but I just wanted to add that it's a really good idea once you kind of write down everything from last year. If you do the activity, write down everything you're grateful for. Start to think about that because there's probably so many things, that we don't sit there and think about every day. The people, the situations, just anything that's come up that you're grateful for. It'll get you in a really good state of mind. It'll get your energy up and flowing. That'll actually help you start to think about next year too. But before moving on, we want to do a little activity on letting go of things from last year, people, situations, whatever. And so I wanted to do a short meditation on doing cord cutting. And people do this all kinds of different ways. Some people say they're uncomfortable with it because they don't want to cut cords to anyone, but we're just going to cut cords to people or situations that are not for your highest good or are not serving you anymore.
mhm.
Not just cutting all the cords, which
Right.
you got your own personal beliefs on what that is. So maybe take a few minutes, pause this video, think about if you want any specific situations or people, but you don't have to know when we do the meditation. It can just be an all-encompassing kind of thing. Um, Anyways, do you want to do that now, or is there anything else you'd like to talk about for letting go and leaving 2022?
Well, just let me go over the 4 things. Everybody seems to want to talk to me right now. I'm so sorry for these interruptions.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, please share. And this is you talk some of your
I
clients told you?
did really good telling us how they celebrate their holidays with their
Yep.
loved ones being gone. And
Yep.
so I reached out back again and I just asked, how would you say goodbye to 2022?
Mm.
How would you do your ending? And it says, I'm trying to learn to say hello to me, to find out who I am after everything and with intent. We can only be as happy as we are in our own skin. That is my work in progress.
Mm,
That was one person.
I like
And
it.
someone said, my motto is stop looking in the review mirror, for that's all behind you. Look forward into where we are headed into.
Yep. Oh, and before you move on, there's like this saying, like you only look behind you just a little bit because the rear view mirror is so small, and you
Mm,
look ahead because that window is huge. So you're
so
supposed to always look ahead and only peek in the rear view mirror.
I'm all about peaking.
Yeah,
Okay.
peek.
It says, as I age, I would usually reflect on life. This past year, I decided to change it up.
Hmm.
I look forward to new things. Looking ahead is my new way of life.
Okay, I like it.
I like it. You
Hmm.
don't ever really say goodbye, you just move forward. Nothing ends, it just moves into a different space in your life. Be flexible, accepting, and curious.
I like that too.
I like it,
Yeah.
but I think it's situational. The last one I have is catch you later, goodbye is final. So catch you later is what she says. I
Oh,
don't like to
gotcha.
say goodbye to my kids, I or my clients. I go, see you later, or see you next time.
Yeah.
But you're right, I do use those words, but
Ooh, I
there's some
always say bye.
do. Mm.
Yeah.
Well, if I do, I go love you, bye.
Mm.
I tell the person on the phone that I'm talking to trying to get help with the furnace. Oh my God. Okay, love you, bye. I mean, no, 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 no. I don't love you,
I
bye.
can't tell you how many times I've done that.
Simple mistakes. That just means that I say that to everybody. You know, say that, love you, bye. Got to spread that love somehow, right?
Oh, that's so funny. All right, guys, I'm going to do this little meditation, a cord cutting meditation. And let me see for a minute here. Go ahead and get comfortable. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and know that we are going to be cutting any cords that no longer serve you. You're going to be releasing any negative energy. And so I want you to concentrate on the word release. Repeating the word release in your head. And as you breathe out, thinking release. Taking a breath in and releasing on the way out. Just saying to yourself, I'm ready to release what no longer serves me. Letting your mind be focused on releasing. And as your mind wanders, bring it back with the word release. And say to yourself out loud or in your head, I am now going to cut any cords that no longer serve me. And those cords can go to a person, a place, or even a situation that you continue to send your energy to. It is your intent to cut these cords that feel negative to you. I want you to begin to view or feel your body and notice any cords that you might have at this time. Once you have found some, imagine scissors or a sword or maybe even just pulling on those cords until they snap off you. Whatever you need to remove the cords from your body, begin one by one to remove them. And with each cord you remove, you also remove the negativity associated with that cord. Now, when you're done, imagine all the cords on the ground next to you in a pile, and just scoop them up into a dustpan, putting them outside in the rubbish bin to be removed. And say out loud or in your head, I now call all pieces of myself back to me. All energy that is lingering with anyone or any place, I call it back to myself so I can be whole. And in that same sense, say out loud or to yourself, any energy that is not mine, may it now be removed from my body and sent back to the proper owner, or be recycled into the ground. Now begin to notice a bright, healing light above your head. Let it slowly come down around you like a thick honey, enveloping your whole body, nourishing and healing all of the spots where you have just removed cords. You're completely covered in this beautiful healing light, feeling whole and balanced. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Were you able to visualize any chords?
Oh yeah, I did.
You did?
I did.
Cool.
The burn pit.
Oh man, you kind of cut out. What did you say?
I cut them up and then I put them in the burn pile.
Hey, nice. Good, good. Okay, awesome. I hope you guys had a good experience doing that. So, let's see. Oh, so we talked about writing down your gratefuls, and that's a really good way to get in the right mood to elevate yourself, to start thinking about next year. And what I want to do, and I haven't actually done it before, is set a motto or a theme for next year to help keep my focus in alignment with my bigger picture goal. And so that's one of the things we're hoping to help you guys with, is to kind of come up with, what is it you want for next year? What are you aiming for? You know, and I think you said you may have come up with something already. I don't know if you want to share that. I don't know what it is.
Well, for me, I wanted to, like I said, I was not going to say no to anything the next year, but to me, because of what we're trying to go into, I'm going to use the word, I'm going to evolve body and soul.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I like it.
Yeah. So that means eat healthier, less stress, more meditation, more forgiveness, more acceptance. That's where I'm really going to try to focus.
And then that motto throughout the year can help you stay aligned when you're making decisions. So you keep it kind of as like the big picture thing. So like when you're making, maybe you're going out to eat,
Mhm.
simple thing, it's crazy food, and you're like, does this go with my focus? And, then you can help make your decisions and go, well, you know what? My focus this year is to stay really healthy. I'm not going to do this, or whatever the case is. You're already super healthy with your eating because you have some eating stuff
Oh,
challenges.
my dairy and my doesn't necessarily make it healthy, but I have to watch gluten and dairy and oh yeah, you're right. I have a lot of those. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just like off
Out
the top, that makes it.
if you want to eat the pizza and
Mhm.
take what's going to happen to you, you know. But
Yeah.
same thing. If you want a person's not drinking, doesn't want to drink, they want to be more healthier, and then they get invited to a party. Well, yeah, do I want to drink and give up
Yep.
everything that I just did, or do I want to continue on my right path? Right?
Yeah,
Anything,
exactly.
anything, not just drinking. It was just
Yeah, and not just eating. I just couldn't think of anything real quick, so that was an easy one. Yeah, and
Mhm.
for me, I haven't focused in on what it is yet, but I know it will be something physical because the last year, like, I don't haven't exercised at all. I usually do yoga, I usually
Mhm.
meditate, I usually eat a certain way, and I'm just, like, not myself in that regard at all. It's like
Mhm.
last year, I guess if I could sum it up, it would be the word surviving.
Right? Right.
And now I'm ready to not just survive, but live my life in a healthy way. So I
Mhm.
don't know what it will be, but some examples of some mottos might be like creating balance,
Mhm.
um, making meaningful connections,
Being
um,
real.
saying yes, like you said. You just have to think about what is going to work for you and what you want.
Maybe it's like your no. Maybe some people need to just learn how to say no.
Yeah, creating healthy boundaries. Maybe that's a thing. And so,
No,
I
that's evolving mind, body, and soul. It just all comes to it's grouped together.
yeah, that covers a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So, oh, and this might also be personally in your life a good time to do what is it, Terry? Reflection board?
Oh, yes, I was talking about, that some of them call them vision boards or soul collages or whatever. And I used to host them here at the house every January, February, and just I can only bring in like 10, 12 people. But it's an all-day event. It used to be in the house, then it went to the shop. But now I'm looking into possibly, maybe, I'll know more today about maybe doing one in Arlington in a place that is a discounted building to where we could open it up on Facebook and say, well, if you're local, you can come and do this. But I don't like to do the boards anymore. I like to do 5x7, 4x6 cards or bookmarks, and then I laminate them. So whatever is on the other side. But I think that if I
Mhm.
had to do a class right now, I
Yeah.
would say let's do something. And if I'm not having a class, they could do this at home as well. You just cut
Mhm.
out things of how you see your life right now, and
Mhm.
how the other side of the board you want to see how you want to see your life. Sometimes
Mm.
you're already doing the good things, but you're so wrapped up in these things that you don't see it.
Right, like
So
you don't even know that you're making steps towards that thing you want already.
right.
I read a scientific study a couple years ago that said when you're making a vision board, that if you not just put the end result of what you want, say one of your goals is to buy a house,
Hmm.
instead of just putting like a house on your vision board, you put steps to that. So for example, maybe you put like a savings account where you're saving money, and maybe you put like your credit score going up, or something like that. So you have these little things that have to occur before you can get that big final thing that you want.
Yes, minus debt and a negative, like pay
Mhm.
off these bills first. But when you said it, I literally saw steps going to a house. So when you could your house and you do your steps, like stairs or
Yeah.
steps, and then on each one, what is it going to take to get there? I like it.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, I like that visualization. So,
Yeah, it would have to
uh,
be, but I'm in my forever home, so I'm good. But this is for those who need that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it could be anything, just an example, but steps to get to whatever your end goal is instead of just the end goal. It was
Mhm.
interesting. Like some universities have actually done studies on vision boards. You can look it up,
Mm,
and they found those ones to be more effective.
yeah.
So,
I just think it's reflection. I'm just going to call it reflection. I'd love to do one for children. I would love to see what
oh,
kinds and just open it up to the community of
that's
kids.
fun.
You know what I mean? Just sit there and say, well, maybe they see a lot of bad and negative, but they can't see the good. But then what would their
Mhm.
good look like? Well, then
Yeah.
we build that little step or ladder to get them there. Yeah,
Mhm.
because if you can get to the kids right now and you can get them to reflect and to grow and see the positive and
Mhm.
things, and we don't know why that they're not seeing it, and not saying that they're not, some of them are or aren't.
Yeah.
I just think that, or meditation, oh my God, if you can
Mhm.
get a child from a very young age to meditate and come to silence in their mind or whatever that is, that
Mhm.
just sets them up to where we are now.
Mhm.
And then they have mind, body, and soul evolving.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, JJ likes to meditate. Mia likes to meditate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh. Well,
yeah,
that's very cool.
yeah. But that's all part of it. It's all part of, I think, gearing us all up to where we're trying to go in February.
Yep. Yep. Which we haven't really shared yet, right?
Mm-mm.
The mystery. So, to help you come up with your motto or your theme, we're going to do a short visualization where you can just sit with your eyes closed and well, I'll ask you some questions to think about to kind of get your juices flowing. Like, what do you want? You know, what is it you want? What's going to make your heart happy? Um, and just thinking those things through for a few minutes. And then once we're done, maybe jot a few things down to help with your theme or just to start to figure out what's important to you for next year. So I'm going to turn some music back on. And same thing, Terry, no one's going to see you, but I'll see you. So close your eyes and take a deep, restful breath. We are going to go on a journey to explore your 2023. I'll ask some questions for you to ponder so you can get your wheels turning on what you may want your motto or theme to be for this coming year. So go ahead, settle into your seat, or if you're laying down, just get very comfortable. And let's get started. What kind of person do you want to be? Just take a few minutes and think about this. It can be general, specific. Let your mind explore. What values are important to you, and are you living by them right now? What changes do you want to make this next year? If you really think about it, what does your heart say that you need right now? I'm thinking about the end of your life. Who do you want to have been? In other words, what will your legacy be? or what do you want your legacy to be? Let your answers just swirl through your mind for a moment. And now we're going to move through time into the future. Through the next 365 days, a year has gone by. Where are you? What do you hear? What do you feel? When you look in the mirror now at the end of 1 year, what do you see? Who are you? And what would you say to yourself? And this future version of yourself, are you connected to your hopes and your dreams and your prayers? How is your physical health? How are your relationships with family, friends? Have they improved? Or changed in any way? Is it easier for you to handle any old problems that used to hook you in and bring you down? Do you have any new people in your life? And where are you with your belief in your own worth and your own power? What did you commit to the most this last year? And how big is your smile? Do you feel more alive, less alive? Now imagine all of this is completely true. Everything you just saw, heard, and felt. And if it feels good, try and double that good feeling in your body and let it permeate every ounce of you. Enjoy your moments with the future you. Now, remaining in silence for just a couple moments, open your eyes and write down a few words or phrases to help you come up with your motto or theme for next year. Okay, was that helpful?
That was a good one.
Okay, good.
As I was reflecting on it in my head, I was thinking, oh, this is like a vision board, enlightenment, meditation. It was all in the mind, not on a board.
Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah,
And
yeah.
you maybe when you post this, can you write down each one of those questions?
Oh, sure.
That way they didn't have to listen and pause. They can go, okay, they wanted to do what? I'm one of those people.
Okay, where you wanna maybe have it written down and then think about each question. Okay,
Right.
and then you can take as much time as you want.
Right. Well, normally you put up like the books or whatever, and they could replay this and they could pause it, but
Mhm.
to just write them down and reflect. Maybe they want to write down their questions and reflect right now, and then they want to meditate, and then they want to get their answer.
Sure, yeah, whatever, I can do that.
Okay.
Um, so anyways, I hope that helps you guys come up with a motto or a theme or just get your juices flowing on what you wanna do next year.
Perfect.
So then I think we just wanna talk about, oh, Terry, this is you. Talk about February and, how you would like to do something for your clients.
Oh yeah. I say it every year that I wish because Valentine is the month of love, and Cupid's
Mhm.
supposed to shoot you in your arrow, and I'm having technical difficulties here. I just wish that there would be one time that I could go to a restaurant and say, hey, I'm going to reserve this spot, and then there's going to be these single guys and these single women, and even if they weren't a match, the one thing that they would have in common would be me, right? They were both spiritually open. Maybe they've lost somebody in their lives, or maybe that they're both going through the same thing, even if they never hooked up. Then but maybe they would find someone to hang out with, talk, or
Yeah.
whatever. Friendship
Make a
is
real connection.
a real connection. However, my list of men are smaller than my women. And so
Mhm.
it's definitely not a fair mix. So therefore, it never happens. So when we were talking, I thought about, well, you know what? Some people are not in good relationships and they're not picking the best persons to be with, and maybe
Mhm.
that's a reflection on us as not loving ourselves enough. So we talked together about going ahead and let's date ourselves in the month of February.
Mhm.
So what we're going to do, Amanda and I, you and I,
Mhm.
are going to find things to make us love ourselves, how we can grow, how we can step back outside that door. And it's not about dating if you've lost a husband or a wife or whatever. It's not
Mhm.
a or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It's not about the dating. It's about the relationship within you. And
Mhm.
I know I need work in that spot. So
Mhm.
I just think that I would love to grow through that with you and with the ones that are following us.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I did mention earlier about the vision board thing or the reflection board or whatever. Uh,
Mhm.
maybe I'll have more information about that on our next podcast if that's something that can happen. I just
Mhm.
think watch my Facebook page because that's where that's going to hit. That
Gotcha.
won't, that won't hit here. That goes whoever listens to Spotify or YouTube, right?
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
have like this.
Yeah. Well, there'll be a link. There's a link to your Facebook page on there too. So if people listen there, they should be able to find it. But yeah, so February, I think, is so important for finding love for yourself within yourself and learning how to do that. Which, if you're in a relationship, awesome. It's
Mhm.
still great. If you're not, awesome.
Mhm.
It's perfect for that too. It's perfect for everybody. So,
But when that right person, or whether it's a friend, or whether it's a guy or a girl or boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever it may be down the line, you will know what you want to collect, reflect, what you want to draw in,
mhm.
you know, because you're gonna radiate all that you are, right?
Mhm.
That's the goal.
Yep. Yeah, and then when you love and respect yourself more, you won't put up with certain behaviors. So if people
Mhm.
start coming into your life and they immediately do whatever it is that crosses your boundary or makes you feel bad, you can be a little bit more like, "Wait, I'm not dealing with that anymore. I don't do this." But it can take time. So,
It does take time. It's not
yeah.
just over in February. It's going to be something that we're going to do every day of our lives.
Yeah, it's lifelong practice for
Mhm.
sure.
Right.
So, happy New Year, everybody. Woohoo for
To
2023.
Yes, stay safe. Be safe, stay safe. And me, normally I like to say from my heart to yours, thank
Mhm.
you so much for 2022. Thank you, Amanda, for starting this, for we could do this together. I really appreciate
Mhm.
you.
Yeah,
So,
I appreciate you too. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you. So, yay!
yay, woohoo!
Woohoo! All right, bye guys. Until next time.
Okay. Mwah.
Mwah.
There.